Hey guys, this is Daniel from Persia Gaming, and today I'm gonna show you what's the best audio settings for The Last of Us Part 2. I'm not gonna tell you like dynamic range maximum is the best one. Of course it is the best one, everyone knows that, but it depends on what speakers or which earphones or headphones you are using. So in this video I'm gonna tell you how do they work exactly, so you can choose the best options for your equipment, for your speakers or your headphone. It is really cool, so you can hear everything clear and loud. You can hear your footsteps on the snow. It is really cool, and you can hear everything in the best mode that you should hear with your equipment. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, first I'm gonna show you audio settings in The Last of Us Part 2. First you need to select options, and next is going to audio settings, and then you need to scroll down so you will find output settings for The Last of Us Part 2. The first option that we have here is device. So with this option you can select which device you are using for listening to audio. For example, if it's automatic, it can automatically detect the output for you. For example, here it's showing television, but I'm not using television. Alright, so how to set them correct? First, you can press right arrow on your controller so you can change the device, as you can see here. For example, television, home theater, studio reference, and stereo headphones. Selecting each of them will change some settings automatically for better experience. For example, here when I change it to stereo headphones, it changed azimuth angle for left and right side, and if I change it to studio reference, it's going to change it again to different settings and angle. But I want you to set everything manually, and for that, first set the device to studio reference, and then let's go to next option. Because I'm using an stereo output, channels are automatically in 2 channels. So everything which I can hear in the game are from the right side or the left side or both. I can understand someone is moving from the left side or moving from the right side to the left side and stuff like that. But if you change it to 1CH, which is 1 channel, it's going to change it to mono audio, so you can't understand what's going on around you. Everything is coming out only from 1 channel. It's the same as mono audio. If you change mono audio from off to on, channels will automatically change to 1CH. Only mono audio, I recommend you to use as much as channels as you can to get better audio experience and hear everything around you as the best way as possible. If you have a better audio output in your PlayStation, you can choose it to Dolby or DTS, so you can get more channels in The Last of Us Part 2. As you can see here, I have 5.1 speakers, so I can get better audio experience while playing the game. But don't worry, don't close this video. First we are going to talk about how to set the best settings for audio 2 channels, which everyone is using, because most of the players are using headphones or TV speakers or stereo speakers. So the next option is center channel, which you don't need to change it or change it to disabled when you are not using more speakers, because in stereo speakers you don't have any center speaker. But the most important part is dynamic range, which I did show you at the beginning. It is really important, and I'm gonna show you how does it work exactly with some pictures. So let me explain why is it so important to hear everything better in the game with dynamic range. We have 2 kind of sounds in the game. Some of them are more quiet and some of them are louder. For example, if you take a look, we have louder sound for the guns and weapons, and we have quiet sound for footsteps and some other effects. So let's take a look at this picture. I did make it for you. Is it good? Please let me know in comments below if it's good, if you understand with this picture. For example, we did change dynamic range to maximum. If our gain is 100 and the loudest sound is for gunshots, so our gain for gunshots is is 100, and for the rest of them which they are lower, it's different. For example, dialogue is 75%, effects are 30%, and footsteps, because it's lower than everything, it's 10%. It's like real life. Loud sounds are loud and quiet sounds are quiet. But if you want to hear something in your speakers which they are quiet, for example some sound effects or footsteps or other stuff like that, you need to change the volume for your speakers to maximum or high values. But if you change dynamic range and make it minimum, what will happen? Look at the next picture. Well, when we change dynamic range to minimum, there is not much difference between footsteps and gunshots, which it means there is not much difference between quiet sounds and loud sounds. So you can hear everything almost in the same volume. So you can set your speaker volume to less volume and you can still hear footsteps, effects, dialogue and gunshots at the same level and very clear and loud. So now if you listen to the first clip that I did show you in the beginning of the video, you can understand the difference between the first one, which is maximum. You can hear everything like real life, footsteps are quiet and effects around you are not loud and sound is like real life. But the second part, which I did change the audio output dynamic range to midnight, you can see the difference. You can hear everything around you so loud. So let's listen to this clip first, and after that I'm going to tell you how to set the best dynamic range for your device. Alright, so as you can see in dynamic range part we have some different options. The first one is maximum, which is the maximum of dynamic range between quiet sounds and loud sounds. But if you go forward and change it to other dynamic range like wide, medium, narrow and midnight, it will reduce the difference between the quiet and loud parts. So the midnight is the least difference between quiet and loud, and maximum is the highest dynamic range. But when to use the highest, when to use the mid-range and when to use midnight, it completely depends on which device you are using. If you are using a TV, it doesn't matter how strong is your TV speakers. I recommend you to go for lower dynamic range like medium, narrow or even midnight. But if you are using headphones, good headphones, you can try for maximum, or you have better speakers, you can try to use maximum and wide dynamic range. The last section is about azimuth, which is really important. With setting this option you can get better experience with sound direction in the game. For example, if something is on your right, you can feel it when you hear this from your speaker. If you are using headphones or earphones, you need to change it to 90 degrees because they are exactly in 90 degrees position. But if you are using TV speakers or different speakers, you need to set the angle from here. But if you take a look at the right picture, you can see the distance between the speakers and you can get better audio direction. So change them to the right direction that they are in the front of you. But what about 5.1 channel if you have surround speakers? So here's the difference. You have only two options that you need to set them separately, and it's different than the last part. First one is center channel. If you take a look at this picture, when it's disabled, it's not gonna affect at all. But if you change it to some other options, you can see in 5.1 speakers you have one speaker in the front of you between the left and right front speakers. I will explain more about center channel in another video, but you can set it to dialogue or dialogue plus effects, so you can hear dialogue in center channel at the same time. When some character is moving to the left side, it's not only on the left side. Imagine someone is between the left side and center and you can hear dialogue in the center channel as well. So it's better for dialogue, but you can set it to dialogue plus effects, which is really cool. I did try it, trust me, it is really cool. But if you have stereo speakers, please don't try it because it's not gonna affect, and later you will say, oh, this video was fake. And the second difference is about surround speaker azimuth, and in 5.1 channel you have two sections, front and back. You have 4 4 speakers, so 2 of them are in the back and 2 of them are in the front of you. For example, here I'm gonna change it a little bit. I don't have any space behind me, so I'm gonna change them. My back speakers are exactly here and the front speakers are there, so you can set them in the picture and you can see them in the picture. And the last part is about volume. If you still feel something is not right, effects are too loud or music is not as loud as you need it to be, so you can go to volume and change it from 0 to 100. If something is too loud, you can change them, but if something is not loud and it's quiet, what should you do? You can just set them to something like 80%, all of them, and set that one louder than others. For example, set effects and music to 80% and dialogue to 100%, so you have it 20% more than before. If you did like this video, please let me know what do you think about it, and if you have any other tip for players, for gamers, you can tell us in comments below so we can use it for adjusting our sound and get better quality for audio in The Last of Us Part 2. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to learn more about games, tips, tricks and tutorials, don't forget to subscribe our channel and use the bell so you won't miss next tutorial. Thank you so much for your time. See you next time.